Hello and welcome.
Two Losers Watch Love is Blind.
Season 7.
Episodes 7, 6. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know. So I'm Brandon.
I'm Crista.
And we're going to talk about the Mexico trip on Love is Blind. And maybe more, depending on how far we get and how much talking we do.
Woo!
Okay, where do you want to start? Start on the people? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start on Tyler and Ashley. How did you feel about them in general on Mexico?
I forgot to complain that I don't like how short Mexico was.
Okay.
I think 3 days isn't enough. I liked when it was a week.
It seems like it was 3 or 4 days.
It was. They said it was just the weekend. So I think it was about Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. Well, it could be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Who knows?
That's not a weekend, and we all know it.
Fine.
And it was so short. Like, this is an episode and a half at most for Mexico, and it's just not enough experience and time to spend together before you switch. Like, I think they did longer in the pods this time, and I think that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. It's just weird. So I just feel like you don't get a true, like, depiction of a vacation together and spending time and doing, like, the fun stuff, because they all got to do one date.
No, they each did at least 2 dates.
They did one, then they had a hangout, then they did another date, then they went home.
Yes.
I just feel like that's not enough.
No, there was 2 hangouts in Mexico.
Okay, so they did one each night. I don't know. I just don't think it has the same effect as when you had a week together and you got to spend the first 2 days together and then you did a hangout. Mm-hmm. I think they went too quick into a hangout with all the people. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just what I think.
That's just the drama. You're not going to get enough drama from them being a couple on vacation.
You don't think that there's been enough drama in the other past seasons?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I do. Okay. Anyways, so who did you say you want to start with?
Tyler and Ashley.
Tyler and Ashley.
Tyler and his children.
It's hard because we've seen all the episodes to put my brain back to when I really liked them. Mm-hmm. And they were on their trip and they were so cute and they hung out and I thought they were so sweet, but it's really hard to put that in the forefront of my brain when now all I can think about is his 3 kids and her finding out and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
spoilers.
I don't know. I really liked Tyler and Ashley. I thought they were very well suited for each other. Mm-hmm. And I really like Ashley. I think she's such a sweet person. I feel bad for her at this point.
Yes, I agree.
So it's just sad. I don't know.
Yeah. One of the things they talked about was that she hasn't had sex in 3 years.
Roughly.
By choice, yes. Abstinent, because she wanted to focus on herself and building a real connection with someone. And then Tyler's out there having kids.
3 of them. But 2 are twins. Like 2 of the girls are twins, so you know. It's only 1 person.
You don't know that?
2 people didn't have the twins.
Oh, yeah. You're correct.
1 mother.
For twins.
Yes. Idiot.
Wow. They could be Irish twins. You don't know that?
They're not. I've seen a picture of them.
Tyler goes into jacuzzi at one point and we see all his tattoos. That's like the first time with the names on him, so...
Which I assume are his children.
Yeah.
Which we did talk about before. But so it's very, did she never say, hey, whose names are tattooed all over you? Like, that would be one of my first questions when I see you take your shirt off and I see that you have all these names tattooed on you. Past girlfriends, kids, a family member who died. Like, I'd be curious whose names are on you.
I agree.
I don't know.
Or it's all just lies for the drama.
Well, he truly has 3 kids.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying she might know about the kids a lot earlier than we all think or that the production is making because of the tattoos or because they talked about it in the pods.
Maybe, but I think her reaction to it later is very genuine. Yeah. And they're at their apartment, so we know. Yeah. Like, we know it couldn't be, faked that they're showing us this earlier. Like, that is their apartment that they're living in right now. It could have been day 1 in their apartment, and they're just showing us the drama now, but...
Or it's all fake.
No,
and they already talked
too sweet.
Don't
to fake that genuine reaction. You're such a Debbie Downer about everyone. You don't leave the positive in anyone.
No, I don't. Not on reality TV because it's stupid.
Oh my God.
Their one date was to go and make spaghetti, and they made that squid ink spaghetti.
Yeah, it was gross.
It was gross. And then they Lady and the Tramped it, and that was gross.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like that.
Okay. That's all they did before.
Yeah, they're very boring.
Tim and Alex. their first date was shopping, and he wanted to get a hat, and she wouldn't let him, and she was a real bitch about it, and made fun of his style, and it was great. It was awesome. She's so cool.
He did look terrible in all of the hats he put on his head.
No.
Yes.
No, I
they
disagree.
They were all ugly, and I would have also told him not to buy those.
I disagree.
I would have said, you do you, but I don't want to walk around with you.
Wow, that's rude.
In that hat.
You're rude. They talk about how she's bossy and strong-willed and ready to go for a fight, and Tim's just like, nah, man, that's not me. If it ends up like I have to be mad and angry all the time, then I'll just leave. Foreshadowing.
Yep.
They also talk about how she's never lived with anyone before.
Yeah, which is crazy, because isn't she like 31 or 32?
Yeah.
She's in her 30s.
That is crazy.
I couldn't imagine never living with anyone. How are you so privileged to have the money to not live with someone? Like, how do you afford that? I mean, I don't know about the States. Like, maybe, I know their pricing is a lot different than us.
She's the fashion person.
I know,
so
but
maybe that makes a lot of money.
But she hasn't always been.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? Like, yes, I could understand being able to sustain yourself now, but what about when she was like 20?
Maybe she's never lived with someone like
in her family.
As a romance.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe she's just never had to intimately share space.
Yeah. All right, fine.
Okay. The next one, Taylor and Garrett.
I love Taylor and Garrett.
They're super boring though because they have no drama
but
here.
I love them. I think they're the sweetest, cutest couple. Everything about them is my favorite. I love them both. I follow them both on Instagram. I don't follow anyone else from the season on Instagram except the two of them because I think they're so friggin' cute.
They are cute.
So, yeah, nothing exciting happens with them, but they're my favorite ones.
They talk about how he's willing to, like, change his life for Taylor.
Yep.
Cute.
Yeah. And they do a little beach date. I thought the beach date was cute.
Yep. They talk about how Taylor's, like, not willing to ask for help, especially when, like, doing tasks and stuff. And that's just how they're going to work on and build that together. So cute.
It is cute.
Garrett does the bedtime routine, though, where he puts tape over his mouth so that he can breathe through his nose. And it's really funny.
Fucking weird. Just breathe through your nose.
It's good for you.
Uh-huh.
He's smart, though, and he doesn't wear it day one. He's got to do impress.
What does he do when he has a beard? I wouldn't want to tape my beard.
I don't know.
You wouldn't want to?
No.
You don't want scotch tape on your beard?
No, I do not.
Rip a couple hairs out every time you take it off?
You.
It wouldn't even stick.
No, probably not.
Ugh.
I would need a whole contraption.
No, I don't like it. I would judge you. I would judge you hard.
Okay, Steven and Monica. You quit it. We're going back in time. You don't know nothing.
But Steven started being weird at this point.
Yes.
This is where Steven's, like, twist of weirdness appears.
That we got to see, yeah.
And I just, like, already was starting to question about him. And I wanted to like them so badly. And I wanted it to be Monica being the terrible person.
Well, she wasn't great.
She was kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
And, like, but again, is it the edit? Like, her talking about the flowers over and over again? Had that happened yet?
Yeah, no, that was like during this time.
You're annoying me. I don't care that he didn't buy you flowers. Where do you want him to give you flowers in Mexico? Why do you need flowers?
It's about being given a gift.
Yes, it's about feeling special. I understand that. But the fact that she says flowers at least 50 times, I don't care anymore. I don't care about your flowers. I don't care. It's just a lot.
Yeah, it is.
But he also was weird. So I don't know. This is where I was like, okay, I feel like this is going to be a red flag very soon.
Yeah, this is where he got, like, talking a lot.
Yeah. And
not about weird things at this point. Just he talks and talks and talks.
Yeah.
Talks in circles. They went on their acupuncture date, which made me want to vomit.
Yeah, where she was, like, hammering the little needles into him.
Yeah.
Weird.
Like,
and then put one in his head. And then said it reminded her of his boner. Everything was weird. Even their date was weird.
Yeah, that was a weird date.
Yeah.
Oof.
Not a fan.
Not a fan either. Okay.
Who's left? Hannah and Nick?
And Ramses and Marissa. We're going to go Ramses and Marissa. They're kind of boring on this trip.
Yeah.
Because all they do is have sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't get to obviously see that, so they don't show us them very often.
Yeah, they just seem all happy. Marissa's, like, super bubbly, so is he at this point because he's having lots and lots of sex. They're cute, I guess.
Yeah, they were fun.
They talk about meeting her family.
Yep.
This is also where I think they talk about how she was in the Navy for 7 years. This is the first start of talking about that.
Well, they talked about it in the pods.
Yeah, but they didn't really say, like,
her background in it. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't know she was on the
On a
ship.
destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know any of that.
Yeah. They have a dance date. That was when we got to see
yeah.
them like do something, and they were
Dance date was cute.
yeah.
But you're dancing. There's not a lot of talking. Like, you're just moving, listening to music. There's just... It's more boring to watch for us, but I'm sure it was super fun. That looked like a fun date.
Yeah. Okay, finally. Hannah and Nick.
What was their date?
Hannah and Nick?
Yeah. I don't remember.
I don't know. First, I want to open up with they are not getting along, I wouldn't say. Hannah literally says that they have to build like their relationship back up to where it was in the pods after meeting each other, which like...
This isn't the first time we've heard that. Some people just have a problem. Like, it takes them longer to build the connection from who they were talking to in the pod to who they're looking at in front of them. Like,
yes.
We've seen that before. I don't think that's a bad thing. I understand it. Like, they're just not as quick as some of the other couples for moving around.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Hannah gets a bad edit in the show. I think Hannah's a bitch, but I don't think she's the monster she's being shown as.
Maybe.
I don't think it's as bad as they're showing it because they're picking a villain and it's her. To throw us off the scent of how stupid half the other couples now are.
Maybe. I can agree with some of that.
I still think she's a bitch. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I think Hannah's like this super great person. I don't like Hannah. I just think they are really showing her as this like super villain, and Nick's so nice and he just will take anything, and Hannah just is a bitch. And I don't think it's that bad.
No, I don't think so either.
And I don't love it. I don't love the way they're showing her because of it.
Yeah. She says that she likes to be horizontal. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, because she's lazy. And she's just laying there lounging. She's like, I like to be horizontal. I don't want to be the other way.
Really endeared her to us.
Yeah.
They talk about the pods and how often she was emotional and crying in there, and Nick doesn't really see it now. They don't want to talk about Leo. Hannah has a hard time with talking about Leo. They go into this weird conversation about like, do you have lip fillers? Because I like natural, blah, blah, blah.
But she doesn't. But yeah.
And this is the conversation that leads into them both, mostly Hannah, saying like, I'm not used to how he looks and I have insecurities about how I look.
I don't think I understand why she was more, because she talks about a lot how she isn't normally an emotional person. So it was a lot for her in the pods with the crying and stuff because she's not usually like that. So, and she told him that in the pods. So I don't know why he would think that she would come out and still be like that. I feel like the pods is such a different experience that none of us understand fully because we would never do that.
Yeah.
And I can like picture in my head how hard it would be and how much more emotional it would be because you're so vulnerable on TV for half of it too. Like, and what Leo did to her in general, I would have also cried during that. That was all fucked up. Like, I understand, but I can also see how she's not that person at all now that we're kind of following her a bit more. Yeah. I don't know. I just find it weird that he's like surprised about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next up. They don't really go on a date.
No, they don't. They go to the weird, like they're just laying because she wants to be horizontal. They lay on those like chairs near the pool.
No, that's later. That's the next thing we're going to talk about.
But yeah, but I think that's their date.
Or did they go on like a Ferris wheel or something?
I don't remember. It clearly wasn't very memorable.
Yeah.
I truly don't think they had a date. I think the weird duck thing is their date. I think that's what they were doing. I think they were like hanging out on those lounge chairs near a pool.
That's not a date. That's just being at your hotel,
I guess.
So the next morning, day 2, I think, they're hanging out at the pool, and then they're having a conversation, and Nick sees these like ducks that you ride on.
You don't even ride on them. They're just like,
on them.
Yeah, they're like these weird, like what you see at like a kid's playground where you can like get on the little hippo and it doesn't move, but these ones move. It's weird.
You could pick them up or whatever.
Yeah.
And he talks about like, because he's an immature child man, and he wants to go ride them, and he's like, hey, you want to go race on them? And then she's like, if you do that, you'll give me the ick.
It was pretty icky.
No.
It was.
Stupid.
It was weird.
It's stupid. Let him be a goofball if he wants to be a goofball.
Yes, and I understand. Like, that's fine. I don't know. The whole situation was weird as fuck.
Yes, it was. It was a stupid conversation, and it I think, quote unquote, getting the ick is stupid.
That's because men don't get it.
Sure, we don't.
Continue.
Sure.
Wow, what
No.
gave you the ick?
I think there's no such thing.
There is such thing.
Things are icky and then you get over it.
Not always.
Yeah.
Depends how icky.
Whatever. Stupid. And this was a stupid thing because he's just being stupid and a child, which, whatever. But, like, he goes over and then an older lady is, like, intrigued. I don't know. But then he, like, calls her over and they're just, like, having a friendly little chat. And then...
You want to race me? Come on.
Yeah. And then they race, like, 5 yards or whatever. It's a super short and stupid. And then the lady recognizes that Hannah's jealous, quote, maybe.
I don't think she's jealous. I think it's just I don't think I would like this either. So it's hard because it's fucking weird.
Yes. All in all, it's a very weird situation.
So the lady yells, "Oh, you're jealous. Don't be jealous." And then he's just like, "Ha ha ha ha." And like, so Hannah's mad that he's like laughing because this woman is being rude in reality. I don't care if you're joking or not. It's weird. You don't know these people. It'd be different if it's like one of Nick's friends and then they're saying that and they know Nick, but you don't. You don't know any of these people. Get the fuck out of this situation.
Yeah.
It's weird. So then she's mad he laughed at her, and I don't know. I think she overblows it. Like, it's too much, like blows it out of proportion, but I also think Nick is stupid, so it's a stupid situation.
All in all, very stupid situation on everyone's end.
Yes. That was the highlight of my Nick and Hannah experience.
Sure it was. No, it gets worse. So then they all get to have a group gathering where they... Oh, also, going back to Nick, he did immediately question, I wonder what all the girls look like.
Yeah.
That was also
he said he was excited to see what they all look like.
Yeah. Which is a thought you have on your inside, not on your outside.
Yeah.
But, like, I do understand, like, that, because you did talk to all these people.
Yeah.
And you do have, like, stories from... Like, I'm sure Hannah told you stories about what Marissa and Monica did or whatever, you know?
Well, the other thing, too, is that, like, he knows that none of them liked him.
True.
That they all made fun of him. I called him Mr. Suave and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's just funny. And he told everybody he was, like, a big buff football player, so...
He didn't say buff, though.
No, but, like, you imply it when you say I'm a football player and I'm better looking than Travis Kelce.
Okay, yeah.
He's a buff guy.
That is true. But he could have been joking about all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of their fault for assuming, especially Hannah, assuming what he looks like based off football player.
This is why you shouldn't talk about what you look like.
At all.
Like,
yeah.
This is my problem.
But, like, that's also what he did.
I know.
His dream he tried on.
But he didn't have to say anything about other people.
No.
Like, it's fucking the Megan Fox thing all over again.
Yeah, but I still think, like, if you say you're a football kicker, people are going to get the assumption.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going into the couple area. People do wonder what Nick was going to look like, too, because of his big dick energy.
Mm-hmm.
And Monica says that he better be really good looking to have that energy about him. And then he walks in and she's like, oh, he's cute. ...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's not.
Yeah. Well, like, he's fine. He's just a little short and not that, like, large, especially when you're thinking, like, football player, you know?
I don't like his face. We didn't even know he had a fucking colored eyes until episode 8. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, that's true.
He can't even open his eyes. I can't with Nick.
So they all hang out. Things go pretty well.
Yeah, it's fine.
In the group hangout, Steven says Garrett looks like a middle-class Chris Evans, Captain America.
I think he does. I agree with that statement.
Yeah, I do too. A lot of couples talk about if they've had sex or not. Nick doesn't want Hannah to talk about sex.
Because he has a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, his brand or whatever.
Yeah, like, you're not a brand. No one knows who you are.
Maybe it's his real estate brand. Because he's a real estate seller. I don't know.
Anyways, but they whisper about it, so we all know as the audience regardless.
Yeah, but, like, you don't want to go, like... I'm guessing he's just, like, don't go into, like, weird details. I like fingers up my butt or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, but then later he says go ahead and talk about it if you want.
Yeah, because he doesn't want her to miss out, which is good.
Yeah.
Nick has shining moments sometimes.
I think Nick is fine. I just don't think they're going to work.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was actually Nick was the first one, but, like, they have, like, a group interrogation of all the guys.
Oh, yeah.
All the girls sit around and then they, like, grill the guys.
It was Nick.
As a group.
And they had a flashlight.
Yeah.
Actually kept blinding him with a flashlight.
Yeah. He answered the questions fine.
They all did fine.
Yeah. Everyone really likes Steven's answers about Monica, though.
Yeah. Because they were sweet.
Yeah.
Too bad he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they was nice. I liked Garrett because I like Garrett and Taylor. I just think they're so sweet together.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're cute. Marissa and Ramses. Ramses was cute too.
Yeah, he was.
They were sweet. They were all great.
At one point, Hannah complains about the duck situation to one of the girls.
Mm-hmm.
She blows it way out of proportion.
She says that the girl called her a bitch, but maybe she said more and we didn't see it. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to blame her in that because we don't know.
True. From what we saw, though, Hannah is now lying about or like editing her memories of what actually took place. We also get Nick telling one of the guys that he found a list of problems that Hannah has about him.
A top 10 of like things she doesn't like, basically.
10 things I hate about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that sucks.
But I think them dealing with that later was kind of like they did an okay job dealing with it.
Funny you say that because that's the next thing that happens, really. Nick and Hannah talk about both of their fight issues.
Yeah, but they don't deal with it until they go back.
Yeah, this is them going back.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
because they talk about, like, Hannah talks about the duck thing and she felt disrespected. And he's like, yes, I did that. I'm sorry, mostly. He thinks it's still stupid, but whatever.
He thinks the duck part is stupid, but I think he understands how she felt disrespected by him laughing with the woman.
Yes.
I agree with all that. So I'm glad he took accountability for it and understood. And I like that he brought up the list. And I like that instead of Hannah being like, no, it's not, I didn't do that, whatever. Like, she pulls it out and they talk about it.
Out of the trash.
Yes, and they have an actual conversation about it. And some of it is her own insecurity problems about herself.
I think most of the issue mostly with the list is she left it out for him to see.
But did she on purpose?
Yes, 100%. Because you wrote out a physical list and then you left it out.
But maybe her plan was to talk to him about it and then they left for the event and didn't.
But she threw it in the garbage.
I thought he did.
No, I think she did because she pulled it out of the trash so she knew where it was.
Yeah.
So, like, she left it out and then decided to trash it.
They're both immature. They're both young and stupid.
Yes.
I still like that they had an actual conversation about it and went through the stuff and talked to each other and brought up both their issues from it. Like, I think, though it was a shitty way to have this conversation or have it come about, I think it was a mature way to deal with the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it forced them to talk to each other about stuff they needed to talk about.
Yeah.
That's all. But they're both mature and stupid.
Yeah, you could go by it way better.
I know, but it's hard.
We don't really see what happens to Tyler and Ashley after the get-together.
It's probably boring.
Yeah, probably.
Because they didn't have any drama at the get-together either. No
but we see every other couple.
Yeah.
Because we see Marissa and Ramses, they chat before going home, like on their way home, and they talk about like who's getting married.
Mm-hmm.
They say Tyler and Ashley getting married, Monica and Steven getting married, Garrett and Taylor getting married. They're 80% sure about Tim and Alex and 75% sure about Nick and Hannah.
How wrong they are.
How wrong
they are in their opinions.
Steven and Monica, they talk back at the apartment and they talk about like how it went, basically. Steven talks too much.
And this is the first time she says stop, basically, but in a nicer way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to give me space to talk to. That's what she says, something like that, which is good way to deal with Steven talking so much.
I think Monica's a psychopath in a way, but I think she's still trying her best in this experiment to do what they came here to do.
Yep.
I just think she's a little crazy as well.
Yeah.
But
in a very different way than Steven.
Yes. I think she's so, the way that I feel from her is that she's just so wants to get married and wants a partner so badly that she's trying so hard to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But this isn't the right person for you, which is sad because we all thought it was. And I really thought that they were going to get married. But he's a psychopath and she's kind of crazy. So it's fine.
They also say that there was something off about Tim and Alex. Something was wrong. Dun, dun, dun.
Which I didn't really feel at the party, though.
Yeah, but we weren't there.
Yeah, fair. And we didn't, clearly we know something happens, so.
And then time goes to the next morning, and then we see that Tim's coming home, back to the hotel room.
Yeah.
Alone, because he spent the night without Alex at another room, because they got into a huge fight.
And I hate it. I want to see the fight. I don't want to,
You don't want to see a fight, but you want to know what
I
happened.
see the leading up to it, or like part of the fight or something, because now we're getting this back story of it where, and we know that we didn't see it because they were both so drunk. They probably said, well, they clearly said stupid shit. So they didn't show us the fight because they definitely recorded the fight.
Yeah, maybe.
There's no way you didn't film the fight. I doubt it.
Unless it happened like in the hallways and stuff after everyone like was done for the night.
Maybe. I just don't believe you.
Yeah.
Because I just think, anyways, it doesn't matter. The fight sounds stupid because they never actually really tell us what it's about.
Yeah.
We know she covered his mouth to get him to shut up, and they kept yelling at each other and like arguing over each other basically. So he left eventually because
he said, I don't want to fight about things. And then he really thought that he was going to leave forever.
Yeah, he thought that him coming back which obviously was a forced conversation, was going to be his last conversation with her ever.
Yes.
And she does a good job in this conversation of listening, which is like, I think she actually listens to what he's saying and cares enough to actually take it in and try to think about what she could do differently in these situations. And I think that's...
Yeah, because she feels real bad about it.
Yeah, and I think that's a mature way of doing it. And I'm sure he said some shitty things to her by the sounds of it. And she's not holding that against him in this. She's just trying to find a way to make it work. And I think that's nice. Like that's when I started respecting them as a couple more, is this conversation, honestly. Because I really didn't have a high hope for them at the beginning.
Except you said that he looks like a man who's dead.
Oh, he did. 100%. They friggin' pan to his face twice and he's just like dead and she's hugging him and he's just like,
kill me.
Yeah, it was wild. But I think it showed growth on her end of this. And then I think Tim shows growth when we see them again after.
Yeah.
That's all. Like I just can see it more.
All the other couples get little recording on phones in the morning, like, yay.
Their diary thing.
Yeah, the phone diary.
Yeah.
Yay, things are awesome with everyone. Yay. Except for Tim and Alex.
Well, maybe they're the one that makes it after all of this. Who knows?
Maybe. Tyler and Ashley get to ride a camel to a picnic.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Thank God Bowden wasn't there. Woo.
Yeah, get stomped on.
Woo.
That looked fun, though. Like, that was a cool date.
I want to jump on a camel.
Yeah, and they got to ride it, and then they got to go for a sweet picnic. Like, that was a nice date.
Hannah and Nick do a gondola ride, and then they jump out of it.
Oh my God, they bungee jump. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I would shit myself.
This is where I said, like, they looked weird. Like, their mannerisms and talking to each other looked weird and fake.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know if that's just the edit. I don't know.
I really feel like they don't like Hannah, the producers of the show.
Yeah.
Or Nick. Like, I think they don't like either one.
Yeah, well, they want to make them look as bad as they possibly can.
Yes.
Because they're great for TV.
Yeah. But Leo and Brittany probably were also going to be great, except, they probably weren't.
Yeah.
She probably would have broke up with him immediately.
Taylor and Garrett get to go to a glass blowing place.
Yeah, that was cool. And they make a cool fish.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's the fish we see later on their table in their apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, they flew that fish. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, Monica and Steven go just get a boring restaurant. And I think this is actually where the flower thing comes up. Like, you gotta give me flowers. Gifts are really important to show me you love me. Just basic little things so that I know you're always thinking about me, blah, blah, blah. And then Steven's like the exact opposite. It's like, I don't fucking want gifts ever.
Yeah.
Which
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But then take that into consideration that that's her stupid love language and that's what makes her happy. It's such a small thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she's asking you to take her to fucking Cabo every 2 minutes because she feels like she needs an expensive adventure. Like, you can buy 3 flowers from the fucking store. I don't know. But I do hate how much she talks about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and also you're still in Mexico. Like,
yeah.
What do you want from him? This is so early. This is so early days.
I agree, but then if we fast forward a little, he still doesn't do it.
No.
When they get back. Like, it's not like this conversation the day before they leave fucking makes a difference because he still doesn't follow through with it.
Yeah. He also gets concerned about the future of this relationship, which is a rippling effect for later on in the show.
Yeah.
Tim and Alex get to go on a cool little dune buggy.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And they kind of make up.
And they make up. They go on, drive across this fucking bridge that is only slightly wider than the dune buggy. It's scary.
So scary.
And then they have like a little picnic on this mountain range thingy.
And they have a good conversation of like, let's have a new beginning. Let's forget about what happened and like move on and like grow with each other instead of dwelling on what we just dealt with.
Yeah, and Tim is going to go back to their hotel.
Yeah, I thought that was nice. I thought it was a good conversation, and she said it was a good trust exercise that he didn't kill her on the bridge because that was scary.
I find it funny that she didn't get to drive at all.
Why?
That we saw.
Maybe she didn't want to.
Maybe. I think that's an experience you should share because you don't get to drive a dune buggy all the time.
Yeah, but maybe she legit didn't want to. Maybe they asked her and she was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to drive it.
I would make you drive it.
Oh my God.
You have to experience it.
Okay.
It will be fun. They go to a couple dinner meetup again.
Yeah.
On the second night. And this is where like it's definitely more chill. It's just around a bar or whatever.
Well, yeah, because you've already met each other now, so the like shock factor's gone, and you guys can actually hang out and just chat and whatever.
Yep. And they all like just talk about progress updates, whatever. And this is where Steven gets talking to Garrett, and then fireworks go off, and then everyone goes outside except for Steven and Garrett because they're talking. And I immediately go, "Oh no, Steven didn't go out with Monica. This is gonna be a fight." And then she walks in and goes, "Wow, that was so romantic out there with the fireworks. I'm so glad you were in here and not out there."
Yeah, I'm so glad you enjoyed it with me. And that's where we realize how different of people Monica and Taylor are, because Taylor doesn't give a fuck that he didn't come out with her. But no, like that's not a bad thing. You guys are different people and that's fine.
Yeah.
But Monica was, I feel like when she's already pushing about problems about like you're not doing enough and spending enough with her on like the important moments, and then you don't come out for that, and then he uses the excuse, well like, Garrett seemed like he really needed to get stuff off his chest, and
right,
Steven's a fucking psycho. This is where he like really is too much for me when he has the conversation with Taylor and Monica about like how Garrett, he's like, you know how much Garrett needs to talk sometimes and get stuff out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've never seen this side of Garrett.
Yeah.
And I don't picture this because I feel like Garrett has a very open communication relationship with Taylor and has no problem talking to Taylor about stuff. And then Steven goes on about how, well, in a year, women are going to want to suck your dick and you got to be prepared to be able to say, like, what the fuck? And by that point, Monica's like, I'm going to get a drink, and just leaves poor Taylor there.
Yeah.
Because she can't deal with it anymore, and that's fine. But holy fuck, I'm like, Taylor, just also leave.
Yeah, this was like a wild time because like Monica was talking to Steven, and then she's like, I need space from you. And then she goes and sits down with all the girls to talk about it. And then he keeps coming over because he like brings her the wrong drink and then tries to explain himself and talk it out or whatever. And then like just intrudes on her talking.
To Taylor after saying it.
Well, no, to all the girls.
Yeah, like,
and then to Taylor.
Nice, man.
Yeah. And then Taylor's stuck listening to him go on and on and on. And it was so weird.
It was a weird conversation.
Yeah.
And like Taylor, from what we saw, they didn't even show us anything she said. She was just staring at him.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, like, and she's like, what are you talking? Because he's trying to compare this to like using Garrett in this conversation somehow.
Yeah.
Garrett's not going to do this shit. That's a you problem. This is a you insecurity of an issue that you clearly can't be married and handle. And that's on you. Don't try and be like, well, Garrett will have, like, no. Shut up. This isn't your couple. You don't get to try and be like, Anyway, so that's when I really knew that Steven was done in my brain. Like, I don't like you now. I'm over you. I can't. This is weird.
Yeah. Knowing someone that's like him, or I did, just like gives me PTSD. I'm trying to deal with someone like him, and it's exhausting.
Yeah. Like, bye.
Don't worry. We see him again because they go back home. They go to bed. They kind of chit chat, and he's buttoning up his clothes to fold them.
It. Oh, yeah.
Like a fucking weirdo.
And she's like, what are you doing?
It was funny, though. This is where you made me write down that you think everyone says I love you too much. They're
trying to convince themselves that this is a true statement. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even think you and I say I love you that much.
No.
Because we're not trying to convince ourselves. Like, we know. Like, it's everything. And then the whole time Monica's mad at Steven in the situation about the fireworks, she's talking to the girls and she's like, I'm just pissed. This is ridiculous. And then he comes over and he's like, are we good? And she's like, we're fine. I love you. We're fine. Like, she just wants you to fuck off, man. So she's like, I love you. Go. Yeah. It's just too much. And they all do it. I don't believe any of you except Garrett and Taylor. I really don't.
Agreed. I don't think Tyler and Alex are really doing it too much.
Tim and Alex.
Whoops. Especially at this junction.
Yeah.
After dealing with the fight. Like, they say it a couple times. It's just like, we fought, but I still love you.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe Ashley.
yeah.
I don't believe Tyler.
No.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
It's still too much, though. I don't like that. You guys need to have any other conversation or compliment or any other, like, I feel like they're just trying to reaffirm each other so that they don't feel
abandoned.
Yeah, and like there's so many, I feel like these people have a lot of insecurities, and I get it. You're on the weirdest experiment. Yeah. But I think it sounds so fake, and it definitely sounds fake when Hannah and Nick say it.
Yes.
Holy fuck. I don't believe either of you.
I think Monica's number one for faking it, and then it's Hannah and Nick.
And definitely Steven. Steven's definitely also number one.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, it's fine. Continue.
The last thing in Mexico is Taylor and Garrett chatting about how, like, she wants to take things super slow and really appreciates him for also taking it slow with her and not trying to pressure her into anything because they haven't had sex.
And then she says that Monica deserves a Garrett, and he says, you deserve a Garrett, and it was so sweet.
And then he says, I deserve a Taylor.
Yeah. They're cute.
Yeah, so cute.
I think they're very good people. I like them a lot.
Okay.
Because they're not fucking psychopaths.
Okay. It's not my fault.
Okay.
And that's Mexico. Then they go back to DC.
Yes. Well, after 3 days, it wasn't enough time.
Yeah. Anyway, see you tomorrow night.